Kia ora, good morning. So, I have a bit of a dilemma. I don't know what to do. I'm I'm trying not to be overly complicated with anything I'm creating. Yesterday, was looking up Switzerland's visas, and it's not complicated. It's just like there's two ways I can go about it. I can either pay them a bribe, which is pretty much what it is. For the people that are going to have the money, you can pay 250 speckles or whatever the currency is, depending on how much you're worth, between 250,000 and half a million. What is it? I don't, whatever. A bribe. They call it a golden visa. Um, or like an entrepreneurial visa. It's the standard stuff, really. And they want to know all the ins and outs and that. But the thing is, with Switzerland, they review your visa every year. And I'm scared now because it's like, what if I go in there and I invest all that money and then after a year they decide no? They want to know, like with any standard entrepreneurial business visa, they want to know who you're going to employ, what you're going to employ, what you're going to do, what you're going to make, what you're going to be doing with your time. You have to be actually working the job, which I would be. I'd just be doing it all from home. I don't have a problem with that. I'm more than happy to get myself a immigration visa. An immigration lawyer to do all the nonsense for me. Like I'm okay with that. It's just like, what if they turn around and say after a year, oh, you're too loud, or you like your festivals are, ugh, because of where the places are that I want to build. The neighbours are complaining, like I'm scared that I'm going to put down roots and then they're either going to have a problem with it or, which is why it's like, okay, the way to get around that, I think, to make sure that the locals are happy, is obviously offer them jobs, offer them discounts, especially jobs, especially if they have gardens, and they can work from home if they want, or so give them jobs, make everyone happy. I know that I'm going to have to be friends with the local police and the fire department and the mayor, and that they're going to have to come. And of course, one way I'm going to be doing that is offering them free breakfasts for law enforcement and rescue services, like fire department, paramedics, that sort of thing. The law enforcement and first responders get free breakfasts. And the one thing I want to be known for at my foundation, and I have spent years perfecting my menu, I want to be known for my breakfasts. I want people to come out of their way to come to us to have my breakfast. I've worked on my omelette menu. I created an omelette. It's like a crumpet slash omelette thing. And I got like over 20 different kinds of flavours, and my kids and my ex and that were my omelette samplers, and my omelettes are raved about. Everybody loves my omelettes. And so I want to be known for, my breakfasts. I want people who are travelling all around Europe to come and stop to have my breakfast. I want, truck drivers who are, driving from country to country in Europe to stop and have my breakfast. I'm going to have like a truck stop area by my foundation and that, if I can, where people can pack up in their camper vans and that. Like how in Walmart, how campers are allowed to park in Walmart. I'm going to have like a safe space for campers to park in Walmart. And I'm even going to allow, as long as they sign a thing to say you clean up your mess, when we have certain festivals, like our LARPing festivals and that, to come and stay in tents, but you will clean up your mess. If you bring it, you leave it behind or it goes in the bin, or you offer to donate it. Like, see, your tents, if you don't want your tents, we can turn them into canopies, for the summertime, outside canopies, so that the kids and people can sit under the canopies. We can turn them into waterproof, like book bags and things like that. So there's a lot of things we can do with your tents if you don't want them. One of the things I learned about living in Great Britain when they have their concerts and festivals and that is the trash that they leave in these parks, and it's disgraceful. I'm from New Zealand, and I grew up with the Tidy Kiwi campaign, where the Kiwi is putting the rubbish in the bin. If you see you will see me when I'm walking out and about. My kids and that will tell you, if I see rubbish, I pick it up and put it in the bin. My neighbours will see me walking around when I'm going to the shop with like rubbish in my hand that I pick up along the way and put in the bin, because I'm a tidy Kiwi. I keep it clean. And they don't do that here in Great Britain, and it drives me insane. And because with all the festivals and stuff, the trash that gets left behind is unbelievable. So we'll have bins, and you will take it with you, and I'll give you fines if you don't clean it up. You will pack your tent up. You can donate the stuff to us if you don't want it, that's fine, but you take your rubbish when you leave, sort of thing. So I need to get on the good side of my neighbours. I need to be nice to the police and the fire department, and especially as well, because like you see, with Miss Jodine and friends, okay, she's got Aurelius Fox and he's a fire marshal. Well, Aurelius is going to have to, our actor is going to have to learn about real fire safety from the real fire marshal. So we'll have to bring him in and have them as, what do you call it, advisors. And we have our security guard and our police officer. I hadn't decided on. I thought maybe my security guard might be a wolf, but my police officer would be a dog. And so, of course, we would have to have police officers and that police chiefs and that come in to give us advice, because if we're going to be teaching the kids about how to be safe and stranger danger and fire safety and like Do Re Mi and that, it needs to be expert advice. So I'll be nice to them by saying, hey, look, come and have a breakfast, a free breakfast, get a free bakery item, you'll get a free coffee and a Danish. Be nice to them, offer them like discounts on concert tickets, and send them like Christmas hampers, and every time we bring out a new item, send them gift baskets with the new items in it to see what they think, and that to be on their good side and obviously create jobs. Now I'm thinking, like, what if I apply and I put all of this into action, because it's going to take me about a year to get everything built and set up and ready to go for the first concert, which is going to be Night of the Black Sun. And then what if they turn around and go, nah, get hurt? Then what do I do? Where do I go? Then I've invested all that money for nothing, and now it's made me I'm fright. I'm scared. I'm slightly scared. I'll fight. So anyway, I'm probably making it a bigger deal than it needs to be. I mean, as long as I'm not breaking any laws, or I'm not getting I'm going to have to wait and see how big these properties are, and to see how close the neighbours are going to be, to see what I can get away with. If I have to sacrifice the first property for the second in order to have more space away from people, then it would break my heart to do it, but I would do it, because I just, what do you do? This is why I need Switzerland to say, hey, look, why don't you come to us? I need a country to be like, just come to us. Here's a visa. Look, you don't even have to worry. We like what you stand for. Come in, says the Swiss government. Like, just, here's your visa. Just come in. Don't even worry about it. We like what you stand for. You're exactly what we're looking for in an entrepreneur. Come in. That's what I need Switzerland to do. But That's what I was hoping Russia would do. That's why I was trying to be nice to Vladdy as well, so that he'd say, yep, come on, come on. If I could have my way, I'd love to build a school in Australia. I'd love to build a school in America or Canada. I'd love to build a school in Switzerland. I'd love to build a school in Russia. See, even if even even if I was friends with Russia, right, I'd still want to live in Switzerland because Switzerland makes my heart happy. But I'd still want to have a school in Russia. I'd like to see, and because I wanted one in Italy as well. When I was originally going to go to Russia, I thought, well, I'd love to have one in Italy. But see, Italy, France, and Germany, where I was contemplating building them, Switzerland's like the perfect place. That's what I'm saying. Switzerland is the perfect place for me to build. It's like everything I need right on my doorstep. But if I could have a school in Russia, I wouldn't say no, just because of the talent that's there. And then I could film like War Babies there. Some scenes in War Babies I could film there, and my period drama about Mary Seacole. But anyway, because I'm in my head now about this whole visa thing, so the time jumping detective. It's just a thought that crossed my head yesterday in regards to Fraser, and I'm thinking. I'm thinking, what if the reason why he teleports is because he's in a wheelchair? Like the real person, like Professor X and Magneto, which means the actor. But see, the thing is, there's scenes, there's things like, say, with the virtual reality episode where he would have to stand, but it's like there are people out there with disabilities where they can stand and walk around and do things that also require wheelchairs. It's just I'm trying to. I keep getting this image in my head as to the reason why he teleports is because he's in a wheelchair. And I might be making that too complicated, I don't know. And I'm trying to think of how I can go about this without being disrespectful to people with disabilities. And then I thought, well, what if he's a veteran and he's got prosthetics? Because I know that a lot of my veterans, and I even saw it when I was watching the veterans in Russia, I was watching Vladimir Putin go to some of the veterans in Russia, and some of them had prosthetics, but they also had wheelchairs, so they could walk around and stuff, but they had the chairs there if they needed them. And so I'm thinking, what if I made Fraser, because you know how I want to offer jobs and that to veterans, what if there's a French veteran maybe who, I mean, he doesn't have to be a veteran, but I can't get it out of my head. And I know, like, it's inevitable we're going to have kids that come to us with, like, Down syndrome. When I was growing up, having Down syndrome was a real barrier, but not anymore. And I love that. I love kids with Down syndrome. They're just gorgeous. They have so much love and they're so funny. And you got people with Down syndromes becoming lawyers in that now. They used to be institutionalized when I was growing up, and I never understood it. But we're going to have kids that have been diagnosed with, like autism and ADHD, and as long as they're not too much of a medical risk, if you've got the talent, I'm not going to say no. So it's like, I just keep thinking, Fraser's character, is it too much? Because I can't get it out of my head. And I wouldn't want anyone turning up for an audition when once I get to Switzerland and set up, to turn up in a wheelchair and think that they're going to be excluded because they're in a wheelchair. It's just that for some reason I keep thinking of Professor X and Magneto, like the gift that they had between each other, and Professor X being in the wheelchair and he did all those things in the wheelchair, and it's like, so what if Fraser's character, like his flesh and bones version, is in a wheelchair but he teleports whenever George needs him, and then they do these things together. However, it is going to mean that anything that Fraser does in the show, he'd at least, especially the virtual reality episode, he'd need to be able to stand. It's almost like, what I'm thinking is, when he's Cortana, like our version of Cortana, when he teleports to that little device, because he's more, when George needs him, he's more like an extra pair of eyes. He can teleport to places like a spy, like an extra pair of eyes. He can go where George can't because George is flesh and blood. George time jumps, but he's flesh and blood. Whereas Fraser's character is like Cortana, like a hologram. But he's a real person who just has the ability to turn holographic when he teleports. Like Star Trek, Beam Me Up Scotty, you know how they teleport and they get like demolecularized. Well, he'd be like that, but he'd kind of like throw his 3D image out there, teleport his 3D image out there. Or is that just too complicated? Because then the other option is that he's not disabled, and then when he teleports through George's device and then is a full-grown proper man. But I just keep thinking about the whole Professor X angle, and I don't know how complicated that would make the TV series. He wouldn't be in every single episode. I mean, a lot of Doctor Who's companions, they weren't in every single episode, and sometimes if they were, it was only for like little bits. But I'm scared. That's where the dilemma comes in. Am I overcomplicating it? It's a thought that crossed my head yesterday because of the whole Professor X angle. So we're going to have like ramps and that for people who come to visit with wheelchairs. We're going to have like little lifts and all of that sort of thing for people with disabilities if we don't put them on the ground floor, when they come to stay, because we're not going to exclude people in wheelchairs and, disability access and all that. My original plan back in the day when we were going to build in America, and that was see where my observatory was. The elevator up to it was going to be a glass elevator on the outside, and we were going to make it look like where the floor was a magic carpet, so it would look like you were flying on a magic carpet to go up to the observatory. And if I got the first property, we wouldn't be able to do that because it's old. Both the properties that I'm looking at, we wouldn't be able to do that because they're old. Over here, I don't know what they're called in Switzerland, but they're grade listed. They would be grade listed buildings here. So I'm overcomplicating it. I know I am. I'm not overthinking. It's just that now that I know I'm so close to applying for a visa, I'm having a mild panic attack. Because it's like, this is really happening. I can feel it. It's really happening. I can feel it. I feel like I'm bloody teleporting. And then it's like, what do I have to be What do I have to do to be nice to rich people to say, do you want to earn a ticket to heaven by donating a telescope for our observatory? Do you want to earn a ticket to heaven and be win favor with God by, like philanthropic, get get people into donate things, like pay for the theatre to be built, and not necessarily not just investors, because obviously I'm looking for investors, but like if I could say to, like, just off the top of my head, if he wasn't evil, Elon Musk, hey, do you want to pay for our observatory? Because the whole space thing, obviously I wouldn't go near him with a 10-foot barge pole with spikes on it, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, say to rich people, because you know how they buy hospital wards and libraries and universities and that. It's like, do you want to buy a telescope for our observatory? I've been looking at them, and the one that the one that we'd kind of be looking at, it's not a lot. It's really not a lot. Like a proper powerful one, it's only like in the tens of thousands. It's not like we're going to be in an observatory where like dozens upon dozens of people are going to be able to come and look. Like, this is, you'll probably only be able to fit maybe a half a dozen people in the space that I want to do it in, because the radio station's going to be there as well. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. Or just, I'm I'm getting really, really, really close. I can feel it. I can taste it. I can feel it, and I'm having a mild panic attack. Like, holy crap, this is actually happening. I can feel it. It's like there's this slow, breezy transition. The other thing I was been thinking about, which I always keep forgetting to mention, is for the kids' TV show. I want to do like a kids version of, because obviously we're going to have like the ones where real kids go out and investigate paranormal activity and myths and legends, urban legends, that sort of thing, and teach the kids who are watching about ghosts and what they really are. It's going to be like a cross between like an adventure show and a science show. And if I don't know how old you are, but there's a kids TV show from Canada, and it was called Wishbone, and it was about a dog that used to go in history and teach about historical events and all of that. Kind of like that, but without a talking dog. Obviously, it's kids acting, doing historical things and that. But this is going to be kids teaching about the paranormal and the supernatural and unexplained things and that through using science, like using actual science and doing science based things to explain it all to kids. And then we'll do my one where I'll actually be going in and the kids will be using the clays and the sprays and all of that too. And I'll do my version as well, for older viewers. But I'd like to do a kids show that's like I grew up with Enid Blyton, so famous Five Secret Seven. Americans would be Hardy Boy and Nancy Drew Mysteries. And the foundation would be the perfect place to do it, where the kids could a whole heap of storylines. So yeah, so that's what I'm dealing with at the moment. I've come up with another few ideas for the cabarets. Like I said, the gangster one, the World War Two, but I'm because I'm in thinking up these episodes for the jumping detective. It's like there's so many ways that I could take Fraser's character, and I don't know which way to go. because I want to be inclusive of people with disabilities, as long as it's not where they have to have someone watching them medically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If they can live a normal life but they have a disability, then yeah, of course, come on board. So I think, I think, I was gonna say, I think the best thing to do would be to leave it up to the actor who comes to the audition, who thinks they can play the role of Fraser, and then write the stories around that. But in order for me to work with anything biorhythmically, it has to be clear in my head, and his character isn't clear in my head. So I can't move forward with certain storylines in that until I figure out his character. Because obviously, as soon as you tune into my TV show, we're connected biometrically, and you're going to be healing from things that you don't even know you're healing from. But in order for that to happen, everything has to be pitch perfect. So songs can't get made, stories can't be, nothing can be created and produced or made without me going through everything with a fine-tooth comb. Everyone will have to bring their ideas and stuff to me when we have our meetings and say, what about this? And I'll say, and then I can say, no, because like blah, blah, blah. Like, it has to be clear in my head, because I'm the one that infuses everything biorhythmically. And there's a glitch with his character that I can't smooth out yet. And I don't know what to do about it. Because as soon as we get that school, as soon as I've got my production company and my games company up and running, which will be long before we open the school to students and the public, I'll already have actors and musicians and everything all ready to go, all ready to start everything long before we bring kids into the school and open up to the public. I need to be handing them stuff to like go, 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 go. So this needs to be, and it's our version of Doctor Who. The time jumping detective is our version of Doctor Who. So it's not that I'm overthinking it. I just need to. I'm so afraid of them turning around after a year and saying, "No, you're not welcome. Get it," or "No, don't you know?" Like, because it says on their thing, you need to be who we're looking for. What can you offer us? What enrichments are you offering to help the people of Switzerland and to contribute to society? And it's like, well, a friggin' lot. A lot more than anybody else that's ever applied for a visa to go and live there. That I can tell you. Including a space program. How many people are offering Switzerland a space program? And a creative arts school that's going to become like the new version of Disney and all that. I'm offering things to Switzerland, to any country that gave me a visa. I'm offering a lot. I have a lot to offer. I will be making a lot of money for that country, bringing in a lot of money in the food, beverage, fashion, arts, culture, entertainment industry. I don't care how rich you are. I will make you richer. I'll help your country leave a legacy long after all the rest of us are gone. So I have a lot to offer if you let me in. But I have PTSD from getting my visa coming into this country. That's probably what it is. Because of I was told to apply for the wrong visa, and I got rejected, and I had to leave, and it broke my heart. And then I went to once I realised I'd been told to apply for the wrong visa, I applied for the right one, had to jump through all the hoops, and then got my visa, and then everything was fine. But they gave me 2 years. You have to be here 2 years. And then we got married, and, everything was fine, but it gave me PTSD. All because I'd been told to apply for the wrong visa. And that's what they said. Wrong visa. you're gonna, and I was like, oh my God, it gave me, I was so traumatized because, yeah, I'd given up everything. I'd given up my entire life, sold everything I had, handed Chris all that money, like a wad of cash, and then ended up applying for the wrong visa and had to go back, and it traumatized me severely. And then while I was away, he was cheating on me with a bisexual woman in London called Claudia. He was trailing the internet for bisexual women. I found it completely by accident. So, yeah. So, my life here in Britain hasn't been great. From start to finish, I've had to fight to live here and fight to survive. It's not been great, but I've learned so much as an observer, as someone who studies human behaviour. I've learned so much, and I've met some incredible people, and I'll never be able to forget the people like at the WDH and the job centre and the people that donated all that stuff when I needed it. I will never forget them as long as I live. As long as I live, I will never forget them. So, but it'll be 26 years this year, and there's nothing more for me here. I've outgrown it. My bottle is too small. While the government's the way it is, they are never ever going to let a school like mine flourish. And I have to put the kids first. I will always put the kids first. So, there's nothing left for me here. There's no one here for me. So if I'm going to be alone, why not be alone in a country that I love, that makes me feel happy? The thought of living in Switzerland, it just brings my heart so much peace. Like I know I'm going to be safe there. And the thing is, if I got to build a school in Russia, when they had their Davos meetings, I'd shut everything down and then go over to the one in Russia. But there's so many countries. I would love to build a school in Japan. I'd love to build one in North Korea. I really would love to build. Look, I know what people say about Kimmy Jimmy, but there's just, I have a special place in my heart for him, and I can't explain it. I think what it was is a couple of years ago they had a flood, and he went out on the boats looking for the missing people, and that look on his face was 100% genuine. I know they do a lot of acting out for the media and stuff, but that look on his face when he was on those boats, he looked exhausted and he genuinely looked worried. And it kind of melted my heart a little, and ever since then I've been a little bit protective of him. Can't explain it. I'd love to build a school in Burkina Faso. I've got I have so many plans for creating jobs in Africa. And then I could set up a travel program, like a travel agency between the schools around the world. So I'd build one in Australia, I'd build one in Russia, I'd build one in obviously Switzerland because that's going to be home, Burkina Faso, Canada, America, Japan, North Korea. Absolutely. But anyway, so am I overthinking the whole Fraser thing? Should I just leave it as it was? Or could that be the twist? Because then it gives an actor in a wheelchair a job to be an actor in a wheelchair, but he would have to be able to stand, especially for episodes like virtual reality. He would have to be able to stand, which is why I thought, well, what if he's got like prosthetics where he can do things. I mean, that Oscar Pretorius, I mean, the Special Olympics and that, it's not, disability doesn't mean you're down and out, right? Some of them can do more stuff than I can, and I'm fully able-bodied. So what would you do? Like, I'm going to leave it open, I think. I know I want him to be French, or, speak French. I want him to have that French accent. He needs to have that French connection. So, yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment. I don't want to overcomplicate anything. It doesn't need to be complicated. It's just, it flashed in my head, and now I can't get it out of my head. But then I'm thinking, like, there's a reason why it's popped into my head, and I need to follow that thread because I know it's going to lead somewhere. So I'm just going to chill and let the answers flow. But now I've kind of like created a glitch in his character that I need to get down, because as soon as we get these actors and voice actors and all of that on board, because my by the time I head out to do my talent show, my games company and production company is already going to be up and running. And they'll be making stuff while I'm, finding the voice talents and actors and that for it. So, and then we've got about a year, once I find the property, to get the concert up and running, the Night of the Black Sun. So it's going to be like, quick, come on, top, sort of thing. And then I probably shouldn't have looked up at them. I know I should have looked up about the visa thing. It's just, what if after a year they're like, no, this is why I need the Swiss government to be like, yeah, come on, because my teacher said, Pauline said that I would be welcomed with open arms. She said that the people in the land of A's, that they would welcome me with open arms. The land of A's, there's a lot of Alps where I'd be living too. That they'd welcome me with open arms. And they'd be like, come on, we want you here. That's what she said. So the American government's my current enemy. So Vladdy broke my heart. Starmer wants me gone at all costs. Be glad to see the back of me. So just hurry up and pay me my compensation, and then I'll be out your hair. Because the British government know they messed up with me. So if he wants me gone, just pay me off and I'll go. I need the Lord to be like, I'm going to raise the road for you, Debbie Lee. I had that dream where I climbed to the top of the mountain and I put out that message to the world about don't be afraid. I called it Let the Sun Shine. And they said one more hurdle to climb, but don't worry, we're going to move the mountain for you or something. And I didn't even have to move the mountain, literally move like an escalator. And I just rose up it without even having to move. That's what I want. I want Switzerland to be like, come on, Debbie. We've heard about what you're doing. We think you've got a great idea. Come on board. Here's a visa. Just like here it is. Come in. Bring your money. We're looking forward to having you here. That's what I want. Give me what I want. Lord Father, please, I've been a good girl. I have been such a good girl. I've been so tolerant and patient and calm. I am the calm in the storm that surrounds me. So the least he can do is let Switzerland say, come on then, here, sign here, come in. Open a bank account, put all your money in it. There you go. We know some people that will absolutely buy you your telescope for your observatory. Oh, I'm being so cheeky. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with Fraser's character. I'm going to show you a photo of who I think George looks like. Kind of give you a rough idea of what he's going to look like. Fraser's going to be, at least 20 plus years younger. So, so I'm just putting it out there, just letting you know what I'm working on. I'm wrapped up in a lot of blankets at the moment because it's quite cold today. And I've never used my boiler once. I'm from New Zealand. We don't do central heating. We're a blanket and fireplace nation. So, yeah. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to make myself a homemade pizza tonight. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm going to have my own pizza parlour. I'll have my own takeout place and we'll do like pizza and burgers and we'll have like an international eatery but my homemade pizzas, I'm telling thee, oh my God. I think I do the best pizzas. Next to Italy, I think I do the best pizzas, which is why I need to have a pizza oven in my house and why we need to have an outdoor pizza oven in the summertime so that people can sit at the tables and order their little pizzas and we'll make them in the outdoor pizza ovens. And of course, Italy, looking for pizza makers, I don't have to look far, do I? That's what I'm saying. That's why it has to be Switzerland because everything is right there. But it doesn't mean I can't have schools in other places. So I'm going to go and I shall speak to you later and we'll see what happens with Fraser. Ka kite anō. If you have any ideas or suggestions, let me know.